Hope, Arkansas. My father was one of those guys. He came through the Depression of World War II. He never finished high school. No one upstream from me as a male, as far as we can trace, had ever graduated high school. Not one. My parents wanted me to have a better life than them, and they were willing to do just about anything because my dad was one of those guys, because of a lack of education, he worked 2 jobs, worked hard, heavy lifting, fireman was his main job, a mechanic on his days off, hard worker. My mother was the oldest of 7 kids. When she was a little girl, she grew up in a house with dirt floors, no indoor plumbing, all outdoor toilets. They lived hard, and they wanted for my sister and for me to have a better life than them. And they were willing to do about anything and make any sacrifice so that could happen. They insisted I get an education. Today, the reason I'm standing here is because of the opportunity to have a decent education in the public schools of Hope, Arkansas. I worked my way through college. I worked 40 hours a week and paid my own way. Got through in 2 years and 3 months, and it wasn't because I was that smart. It was because I knew that I couldn't afford to stay there 4 years. But I got my degree. And I found that an education in this country means that if you work hard, it doesn't matter where you start, you can end up wherever you can imagine going. As a little kid, when I was 8 years old, my dad took me to hear a speech with the governor of Arkansas. He said, now son, the governor's going to come down to our part of the state and make a talk, and I want you to go down and hear it because he said, son, you may live your whole life, and you may never, ever in your life get to meet a governor in person. Little did he know that his own son would one day become the 44th governor of the state of Arkansas. And ladies and gentlemen, with your help, I'll become the 44th president of the United States of America. Fixing some things in Washington has allowed to get broken beyond description. Borders that have never been secured. A tax system that is utterly broken. That if you go into the marketplace right now, the greatest challenge that you're going to have is not competition from some other person across town, across the country, even across the world. Your greatest competition will come from your own government because of excessive taxation, regulation, and litigation that makes it real tough for American businesses to survive. And the idea that government is the answer to everything is the problem we're in now. People in Washington have brought more and more power to themselves. It's like they never listened to Thomas Jefferson, who said that we shouldn't have a centralized, strong federal government. We ought to leave things up to the states. If it's not expressly in the Constitution, let the states run it. And don't centralize and put too much power in one place. It gets dangerous. Well, government ought to get smaller, not bigger, so you can get your business bigger. Because remember, when government does something for you, it first has to take something from you. And by the way, let me be honest with you. I'm a Republican and I'm a conservative. But Republicans aren't right all the time. And Democrats aren't wrong all the time. The fact is, we need to get this nation where we start acting like we put America first and our party second. And we start thinking about the next generation more than just about the next election. Folks, I thank you for coming out here. I want to say again thanks to Ric Flair, to Chuck Norris, to Andre Bauer, Mike Campbell, and Governor David Beasley. Let's get out and vote. Let's change this country and make it work for all of us. Thank you. God bless you.